Yo, Ma, what you said again, Ma?
I said I'll give you $103.
That's not how you said it. That's not how you said it. How you said it?
I give you half for $5.
You gave me half for $5? You sure? Alright, I don't got 5. Would you take like $3? Oh, you want a cash app? Cash? Cash? I only got quarters though. You want quarters? Yeah, it's $3. Alright, get in the car.
I got these last $3.
All right, you guys. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming. I warned you. I warned you that this is coming, and it is here. What you just witnessed a proof of the $3 coffee girl. I said at some point that you'll be able to buy sex from a woman for about the price of a Starbucks coffee, right? And what you saw, it's an unusual situation, but what you saw was a woman, a young woman. Now, she wasn't old and beaten up, and she wasn't ugly. A cute young woman, not overly pretty, but a cute young woman, willing to sell sex for less than a Starbucks coffee for $3 and change. And we're just getting started. Okay, Trump is just getting started pulling the rug from underneath this welfare system. That means a lot of women that got comfortable in this system, that depended on the system, are going to have to do what? Hit the streets. They are. They will. They're going to get evicted. They're going to need to be tided over. They're going to need a bridge loan. And sometimes the bridge loan's not going to be there because as this system winds down, there's going to be less men willing to invest or give away money. There's no money to give away. So they're going to have to earn it. And so, depending on the situation that they're in, they may have to go down to this level. I mean, years ago, I talked about Greece and its austerity that it had to go through a few years ago. It's still going through it, but not as bad as it was back then. And the price of sex went from 100 euros down to 10 within a couple years. And even sometimes at 10, there were no takers. Like you heard with this young woman, this is why diesels and coffee girls do not necessarily like black men, okay? Is because he already got a deal, which is $5, and he talked it down to $3. Probably because he really didn't want it per se. He didn't want to be in that position, and so she had to give him an offer that he couldn't refuse. And he tried to break, hey, baby, I ain't got 5, all I got is 3. And it's in quarters, thinking that she would refuse and say no. And she didn't. I think he was kind of sad that she went down that low. But she gave him an offer that he could not refuse. And so he said, girl, here's this $3 and change. Why don't you go ahead and jump in? He probably had the change in his cup holder. But that is showing you the direction that we're going. That is showing you what's going to happen. I was talking to Charles last night, and he was talking about this stacked 24-year-old that's damn near jumping in his lap. Why? Because it's getting rough out there. And a brother out there doing things, like Charles, is going to get a lot of attention from younger women. Younger and younger and younger. Like Charles is in his, close to his mid-40s. And this woman is in her mid-20s. That gap that they talk about being a child and them being children, that stuff is going to go away real quick. Because it's about having a chair and a comfortable chair to sit in. And trust and believe, if you don't snap him up, a white woman will, because she needs a chair too. And there ain't enough comfortable white men going around. As Spock says, sauce for the goose, Mr. Savick. The odds are even. The odds are even right now. Trump is leveling the playing field. Whether we like it or not, His thing is level out this playing field. The women have all this advantage because they think that they're so high and mighty and they think that men are beneath them. Yeah, because you're being supported by the government. What happens when that pedestal gets lowered and all of a sudden the odds are even and the playing field is level? Then what are you going to do? Then what are you going to hold over a man's head? What are you going to hold out for? You have to suffer just like he would. Well, you know what? I'm going to not settle. I'm going to take care of myself and be on my own. Good for you. And then cry about struggling in a car. Where are all the men? They're not here to take care of you no more, baby. Doesn't work that way. You declared your independence years ago. So now that you bankrupt and the country's bankrupt, you declared your independence. Guess what? You're on your own. You got to figure it out. And so that young lady that's probably in that video, probably 5 years ago, she'd have been a girlfriend. He'd have had to spend $300, $400, $500 a month on her. He probably would have had to taken her out on a $150 date just to get a sniff. She's giving him a blow in the car for $3 and change. How the market has crashed. It's something I will never forget. People talk about economics and the value of things. I always use two examples. One, Catherine Austin Fitts said a long time ago, houses do not have value if people don't have any jobs. A house has no value if people do not have jobs to pay for it. I remember a supply and demand thing. When I first saw my first flat screen TV, 1998, long time ago. Flat screen TV, 50 inches, was $55,000. $55,000. A 50-inch flat screen TV that's better than the one I saw in 98 is $298 at Walmart. Supply and demand. The market is flooded with these 50-inch flat screen TVs. Sex has no value if men have no money. Sex has no value if men don't have money. Or sex has no value if what? If the market is flooded. Nobody's going to pay $5 for a bottle of water unless there's no water around. If there's taps and faucets around, nobody's going to pay $5 for a bottle of water. It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to pay an overly excessive amount for sex if it's in massive oversupply, not even massive supply, oversupply. With these chicks getting dumped on the streets and all these so-called alpha males that used to take care of these chicks with a whole bunch of money don't exist anymore. They can only take care of so many. An alpha male, so what they call an alpha male, is not going to take care of 100 chicks. He's going to have 3 at max. The other ones are going to get dumped on the street. And only the top tier ones will get taken by that alpha male, right? 80% of women are basically average and below. 85% of women are either average or below. Men don't realize that. 85% of women do not qualify for those top tier guys. And they can hold out if they're financially secure. What if they're not? What if they actually need a man? Women of all ages, what if they happen to need a man? That means vagina's going to be in massive supply from the old women at 60 all the way down to the women at 15. It's going to be a massive supply. So any man of means, I don't have to mean 6-figure means, of means where you have a job, where you're breathing, is going to be in demand. A man that's physical enough to protect this woman is going to be in demand because it's going to get rough out there. A man that will give women companionship is going to be in demand because it's already going to be rough out there because a lot of men are pulling back. Price done got too high. So men have taken themselves off the market. There are no buyers. The buyers are drying up. Buyers are drying up, and Uncle Sam, who's their backup baby daddy, is pulling back and cutting them loose. It's going to happen. And this is just an example of the way things are going. And Donald Trump is just getting started. Donald Trump hasn't even been in office 6 months. You already see the effects. You already see the effects. He's wasting no time in leveling his playing field. So, as I've been saying to guys, just wait. It's coming. It's coming. All the high and mighty talk about being the most educated and having the most money, it's already here. It's coming. All you got to do is be open and available. Go ahead and make yourself shine. Be the best version of yourself. You ain't got to be the best version of yourself for her. Be the best version of yourself. That's all you need. You don't need all this extra stuff. You don't need all this extra swag and tats and stuff like that. You don't need none of that, especially with the open borders, as I call it. Women of all races are looking for a chair to sit in. That is biology. No woman wants to be left standing when the music stops. None of them. And the white women are the most acute to that. That's how come you see a lot of white women of all classes looking for black men. Because the sisters have down talked you and they think that you're available. They think that you're vulnerable. Anyhow, that's all I got for you guys. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.